We've just seen Aston Villa snatch all 3 points at Luton Town. Luca Dina heading in an 89th minute winner in a 3-2 win for Villa to remain 5 points clear in the top four. And after that tricky spell that they experienced across December and January, it's now 4 wins in the last 5 for Villa. But what a way to win it at Kenilworth Road today.
Nothing better than scoring in the last minute of a game. They're never in the game in the second period, never in it. He made some good changes, Unai Emery. I see Dina's cross. Bailey. It was Diaby's cross was fantastic for Dina and getting on the blind side of the defender. They look so dangerous, Luton, when they're putting the ball in the box. They were aggressive in their closing down. They couldn't get any rhythm in the second period, Aston Villa, but they continued to just stick the ball in the box. They crossed the ball more than any teams, and teams can't cope with it. The Premier League is not used to teams who keep putting the ball in the box. And no Adebayo at the moment, Carlton Morris. I think when Adebayo comes back and there's two of them, two-pronged attack, attacking them balls, they will score more goals. And they've got a chance of staying in the league. But again, they're getting patted on the back for a second-half performance and saying, well done, second half, but still 0 points, which is really, really damaging for them.
Yeah, but we've got to give, I suppose, Villa and this squad, I mean, the mentality, some credit, right? I mean, to be second best for a lot of that second half, but still find a punch to win the contest.
Yeah, when it looked as if they were settling for a draw themselves, it looked as if they were the ones who were trying to waste time, run the clock down, let's settle with a 2-2 draw away from home, to go down the other end. And as Tim rightly said, the substitutions from Unai Emery, all you want them to do is go in, calm the place down, but the forwards make an impact. Diaby with the cross, Dina with the goal. I mean, really upsetting for Rob Edwards to concede like that in the last minute of the game. He'll be going crazy. Yeah. He'll have an element of being proud of his team for the way they played in the second half. But wow, will he be secretly, privately upset the way they conceded that goal, because it was an awful goal to concede. But yes, all credit to Aston Villa. They were on the ropes and they battled back, and they've left Kenilworth Road with 3 massive points in the end. Yeah. At half-time, you wouldn't be saying this because they were in cruise control, but they had to take what they got, take the punishments, the noise of the crowd, and they fought back in the end. So it was a great result for them.
As we all know, no game is decided over 45 minutes. But at the half-time interval, there only looked to be one winner after Ollie Watkins' brace.
It really did. I mean, Ollie scores the first one from a set-piece. Mengi had a real problem with him all afternoon, and you'd expect him to be touch tight there. He just strolls into an area and just nods his head on that one. Great delivery and a fantastic header from Ollie, and he couldn't believe his luck having that much room in the 6-yard box, and he gets them off to a fantastic start.
Yeah, evading his marker, Mengi.
Yeah, but Luton pride themselves on set pieces. You can't be so positive in set pieces going forward and so bad at the back, and they were. Yeah. And in the first half, I don't know what it was. I mean, only Rob Edwards and his players will know. I mean, this is a really poor goal to concede. The first one was terrible. You know, Mengi not getting close to Ollie Watkins, and this was equally as bad. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orange shirts around him, and then when he controls the ball and sticks it in, they're not within 5 yards of him. The line is dishevelled. They think he's playing him onside. In fact, the left back is playing him well onside. And you know, when you go back and analyse what you should have done and what you shouldn't have done, you cannot keep going over and over and over and over these mistakes. This is happening too many times. They have to address it, and they have to be a lot more settled defensively.
It's turning out to be a brilliant season for Ollie Watkins. 16 goals, 10 assists, goal involvements now, 26 in all. I mean, he's too clear of Mo Salah. Erling Haaland is in his wake, and there's not many that can say that across the metrics of this campaign. Saka and then Son. I mean, he is clearly in the form of his life right now.
Absolutely. He's always been a good team man, Ollie. You know, he's always worked tirelessly in the channels, worn down defenders for other people. Now Unai Emery's coached him to stay the width for the goal as well, and showed him, really educated him on the game, told him that he can score goals, be a little bit more selfish. He's still got that selfless side of him, where he wants to work for the side. He closes down when he hasn't got possession, but he's being more clinical in front of goal, and that's where you get the headlines, and that is why he goes to represent England in the Euros in the summer, without doubt. He has to be. He's number 2 to Harry Kane at the moment, for sure.
Well, I mean, you can't question that when you see those type of numbers.
There doesn't seem to be a distinct second best behind Harry right now, does there?
Well, he's better than anyone, isn't he, at the moment?
Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, look, that was the scoreline then at half-time, 2-0. Villa very much in cruise control. So what happened to turn the game on its head. For Luton to be able to come back
they went in at half-time, and the managers probably kicked a few of them up the backside, and rightly so. You know, we said they were lethargic, they were really passive in the first half, and that's very unlike Luton.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a cliche. We've said it on a number of times when we analyse games. They can't be as bad in the first half as they are as they will be in the second half. And it was right. Luton came out and showed us what they've showed us throughout the year at home: a fire, an intensity, an energy level that can get them back in games. And as soon as they scored the first, which wasn't a surprise, the momentum would dictate that they were always going to score a second.
Yeah. What a finish this is, by the way.
Yeah, if you look at Morris, he's clever. He pushes McGinn. You watch him push him just in time. Off you go. Gives him a yard and he finishes it. Keeps his eye on it. Doughty's fantastic delivery. The pace is on the cross. You can clearly onside, and it's a wonderful volley into the bottom corner. And at that stage you thought, well, there's only one team who are going to go on and win this. The momentum is with Luton. They were causing all sorts of problems. Even before the first goal, the Chong goal, they were causing loads of problems to Aston Villa. And the manager had to intervene. Unai Emery had to stand up and intervene. I think he did it brilliantly.
Did they abandon their man-to-man approach there?
No, just more aggressive. Yeah. More aggressive. So the midfield couldn't get their heads up and play it to Watkins. Watkins was causing them all sorts of problems. We saw it. Mengi couldn't handle him. But the midfield were just getting their heads up and picking a pass. In the second period, they stepped onto him. They stopped it at source. So you haven't got to worry about Ollie Watkins because they didn't let any balls get to him. They were more aggressive.
They were further up the pitch as well, more condensed. So the lines between the defenders and the midfielders wasn't so big.
Yeah.
Where they had lots of space to play into his feet or over the top. That they were nice and compressed. Therefore, everybody was closing down a lot quicker, and they were far more aggressive. Then when they were winning the ball back, they were breaking and using the men wide, which they're good at.
And at that point, it looked like Luton had at least salvaged at least a point until the 89th minute, when two Frenchmen combined, two substitutes as it happened, and DRB to Luca Dean. And this really is a gut-wrenching blow for the hosts.
Yeah, especially when you see Luca Dina's movement. He comes from behind Kabore. He doesn't come across him and nip in front of him. He comes behind him and back sort of onside in front of him. I mean, it's awful defensively. Kabore had a really good second half going forward. I just think he's switched off defensively, thinking that the left-back is not going to act like a centre-forward or act like a forward. But the left-back is moving forwards, thinking that he can get in front of him. He's not challenged, and fair play to Luca Dean, yet he finishes it brilliantly well.
See how important that was.
I was just going to say, that celebration.
Yeah. Never seen that.
Shows you.
No. Never seen that from him. I think he's starting to... We're going so close now. He believes there's a Champions League spot. For them to get to the Champions League is an unbelievable performance for that manager and that team of players. They play Tottenham next week.
I was just going to say.
They beat Tottenham. It's going to be very difficult for Tottenham to catch them in the top four. Possibly top five for Champions League this year. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
But to finish in the top four for Aston Villa, he's well ahead of schedule in his development of that side.
That gap between the two could be 8 or 2 points. I mean that's quite some
Manish,
swing.
As well, we know the top three are vying for the but
title.
Arsenal have got a game in hand, albeit tomorrow against Sheffield United. They're 3 points behind Arsenal. They're 8 points behind Liverpool. That is outstanding, regardless of where they worrying about Tottenham or Man United below them. They're 8 points behind Liverpool, who were supposedly, the favourites for the league at this moment in time. I mean, that's an incredible achievement by Unai Emery.
It's a great point, Steve. I think that's gone under the radar.
Of course it has. We don't think they'll catch Arsenal, Man City or Liverpool, but you shouldn't sort of downgrade what they're doing and say, can they still get into the 3 points behind Arsenal, albeit there might be 6 tomorrow.
8 points off the summit.
The top of the league, yes.
And
they 27 games.
They got a double header against Ajax. He's a prolific winner of this Europa League. He wins in Europe more than any manager out there. That is what he does.
The Conference League, right?
Conference League, yeah.
But it doesn't
favourites
matter.
for that.
To him it's a European trophy, and he knows how to win in Europe. So he will have them ready. He will have them prepared for that double header. They'll want to progress. But the nearer it goes, if they're still in the competition, the top four, he has to prioritise surely. But he's done a brilliant job. I can't speak highly enough of him.
Correct.
I mean, look, fans always want to see their manager make telling substitutions, make a difference that they can spot off the pitch.
Yeah.
And to make those 4, 2 of which had a telling impact, I mean, you know, as a former manager, I mean, how difficult is that to spot things and just read? Well, it doesn't happen for everybody.
No, sometimes it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, but he felt like there was only one thing. He had to roll the dice.
Yeah.
Because
was it more out of desperation?
The momentum was gone. I mean, they were like losing the soap in the bath. You can't find it. It's not easy. You know, so so just get a new one. That's exactly what he did. I mean, he's just looked to his bench. He's got quality on the bench, and he brought them off the bench, and he said, well, look, go and try and win the game for us. And that's exactly what they did. The freshness, got on the ball. Diaby's cross was brilliant. And
bringing the left back off, Tim, he knew. You know, left back is you know, it's an unusual position to change, but he knew we've got problems down that side of the pitch. Kabore was putting cross after cross. That needs to change. He didn't expect the left back to go and get the winner, but still he understood the problems and he knew, I have to make changes here. We're getting overrun. I need to do something. And the fact that it's worked, brilliant. But it's no surprise that Jurgen Klopp did it and it worked. Unai Emery's done it in the game later that we've watched, and it's worked again. And that's where managers earn the big bucks from, isn't it? Really,
he's got to be in the conversation for Manager of the Year. He might not be the outright number one favourite for many people, but he has to be in the conversation.
Oh, absolutely. From where I think he's moved them forward so quickly, but he's so level-headed. The first time I've ever seen him celebrate like that was today. Maybe the pressure will just. When you're in touching distance of achieving something magnificent, which Champions League position would be, I think you get overexcited. But I think he will calm himself down, dust himself down. It's really important to keep his players fit, especially Ollie Watkins. If you lose Ollie Watkins, it will be a huge blow. But a lot of teams will be saying that. But you've kept him fit up to now. He's produced the goods, and you're running out of games. You need to just keep him fit, nurse him through this period, because he is the answer to their success.
Not just Ollie Watkins. That partnership with Leon Bailey is very much almost a two up top.
Yeah, they're all playing their part at the moment. All of them have grown under. I mean, Ollie Watkins had a good season last year. You know, he has been for a number of seasons. Douglas Luiz, we know, is a good player. But the likes of Leon Bailey stepped it up, hasn't he, under Unai Emery? As Tim said, get the next couple of games out the way, get the Ajax game out the way, get to the international period. You can sit down, you can refresh, people will go off with the countries, you'll give the lads a blow, and then come, April again, that's when you roll forward. It's the last push, to get to the Champions League, to get a bit of glory.
He's doing it without Pau Torres as well.
I was just going to say, he couldn't play today.
Pau Torres on the bench today, he's very close to getting fit. Pau Torres is a difference. He's a difference maker for him because he allows him to play that high line. And with Konza, who's back in there now, formidable, that partnership. It's been outstanding. For me, the goalkeeper is still one of the best goalkeepers in the league. He looks like he's commanding. You have to work very hard to score past Martinez. I think he takes crosses under pressure. They've got all the ingredients to go on and finish in the top four, but so have Tottenham. So it's going to go right to the end. That head-to-head next week is crucial.
Yeah. Steve?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's going to be a brilliant game. It's who can keep people fit. Both teams will have injury worries, but who can get over the line, who can not lose, more importantly. But if you can go in and get a victory against your closest rivals and get a little bit of space on them, it'll be important.
Brilliant stuff. We're going to have to leave it there on today's Matchday Live. Steve?
Pleasure.
Great to see you, Tim.
That's Steve, Tim.
We'll see you next time.
John.
Done it by Rob.
Cheers,
bye for now.